Ezi Narianje Andrea Newman.
Ezi Narianje Margie Newman, and we are from Australia.
Well, we first came to stay January 27, 2020. We arrived at Entebbe, and that's where our time began.
Firstly, because of our love for Jesus, we've been Christians for a long time. We've had much given to us in terms of teaching and hearing the Bible, and we love to tell others about the Bible. And so that's probably the first thing that inspired us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, well, because both of us come from Christian families, and yet for both of us, we came to a point where we said, is this for me? For me, it was when I was 16, and I realized that I liked Jesus, but I'd never begun a relationship with him. I was just going to church and in the choir and had some Christian friends, but I thought, I think I need to be more serious. And then someone explained to me, they said, what have you done with your sins? And I thought, what do you mean? And for the first time, it was clear to me that was the difference between me and my Christian friends, was they had their sins forgiven. They had begun a new life. They were new creations because of Jesus. And this was explaining to me why my friends were a little different. And so for me, when I was 16, I came to realize that Jesus is real, and I wanted to follow him wherever he took me.
Wow. And for me, I grew up in a Christian home, but my growth as a Christian began in about secondary 2, when a teacher came to our school and she taught us how to read the Bible. And so I began to read the Bible for myself. And that's when I started to understand what it actually meant to follow Jesus. It's when I started to get to know Jesus himself, when I started to read the Bible by myself. Before that, I read it with my family and at church, but then I began to read it myself, and so I began to grow as a Christian.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the very beginning.
Yeah.
But how we came to be here in Uganda, that from that beginning, it was just a matter of where will the Lord lead us. And he's taken us to the Armidale Diocese, and then now he's taken us here. But how did that happen? Back in 2000, we think maybe 2004, when Bishop Edward Mahima was here, and Bishop Peter Brain from Australia, from Armidale, they began a partnership with Armidale. And from the moment we heard of it, we thought, this is wonderful. This partnership is wonderful. Especially when we heard the reasons for the partnership. So we were part of the partnership from the beginning. Then the Next Gen conferences began.
Yes, so we came on 2015, 2016 and 2017, and for those years, whenever we left, we thought, not enough time with people. And so that was a big inspiration to, when we were asked by Bishop Patrick and Bishop Bennon, both of them, in their turn, asked if someone could come from the Armidale Diocese to help at the Canon Ndimbiriwe
To
Bible
be human
College.
resources.
We thought, well, we think we could do that. And everything fell into place.
The Armidale people actually said to us, the bishop and such, and the committee, they said, Andrew and Margie, you have been there 3 times already. Actually, also we came to investigate the possibility of coming for some people, and those some people turned out to be us. So our little joke we have is that the bishops asked for some human resources, and they got Newman resources.
Wow.
See?
Okay, so last year we were doing the library. We were preparing the library. because the Armidale Diocese sent over 4,000 books, and so we were helping with a team to make the library ready. Now the library has about 10,000 books in it.
Wow.
Some from here and some from Armidale. So it is becoming ready to actually borrow. So that has been a long process. But also last year we did language learning and culture learning. So learning about the language and the culture. So that was last year. So trio.
Oh,
Trio nit jezaho.
What?
Trio nit jezaho quig.
Pola.
Pola pola, kachi kachi.
But this year.
But this year is different. This year we're doing more of the Bible college and a little of the language. Well, that was before lockdown. We had a wonderful semester 1 at the Bible college where not only were we doing the library work, but we were teaching. We're teaching the students. And this is something that has been very exciting for us to begin that teaching. It was a very intense year, semester, and we are very sad that it did not continue. But we very much enjoyed what we were doing, teaching these students, just preparing lay readers and ordinands for ministry. And the reason we are very excited about it is because for us, we've been in full-time ministry for nearly 30 years. And so we know that it's very challenging calling for lay readers and clergy. So we want to encourage the ones who are coming through. But we also realise that that it is very challenging, but it's a very great responsibility and great privilege. And so there's very important skills that need to be learnt. And probably the ones that are the most important in our minds is that we are keen for these students to understand that before anything we must help them form their identity. And our identity is not someone who's wearing collars, but it is someone who knows Jesus and is a disciple of his. So we want to help form the students in their identity of being a disciple of Christ. And we're very excited about that. But also, then they need the skills for the role. So they need to learn what is the role of the pastor, the lay reader, the ordinand. And of course, this very strong picture we have in the Bible and even in the Church of Uganda service for priests and for clergy and others is to be shepherds of God's people. So to be a disciple of Christ and then to be a good shepherd of his people, to care for his people, to grow them, and just as he was a good shepherd. In fact, it tells us he is the chief shepherd, and everyone who ministers in his name is a shepherd under the chief shepherd. So we really hope that from us, with the other tutors at the college, that we can form these students who have a strong identity as disciples of Christ and who have the skills to be good shepherds of Jesus' people.
So we are hoping to stay for 10 years at least, because, and we are in partnership not just with North Kigezi and not just with Armidale, but with CMS, which is the Church Missionary Society in Australia. And they are very good at training and teaching us how to be here long term. So we're not just coming and going like with Next Gen. We want to stay and get to know people properly.
And get to know the culture.
And try and get to know the language. But that is what CMS does. And they support us as well.
Because they know that the most effective work can happen when people know people. It's the same for teachers and students. It's the same for clergy and lay readers and their people. It's the same for anyone. And so by being long term, it means we can have deeper relationship with people, and there can be more trust, and then there can be more fruit for the gospel.
The climate is
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
I
It is
agree.
just perfect climate. We come from Australia where it's very hot and very cold, all in 1 year. And here, always we are like this in just sleeves. Maybe we might wear a sweater maybe once or twice a year. But the climate is amazing. But also, of course, the people. The people are so friendly, but also we share much humour. We laugh a lot together. Yes, so we really enjoy the people and the climate. What do you enjoy?
I'm same with the climate, but also I like that it is rural
Yeah.
here. You know, I like that you can be driving down the road and you are walking past or driving past Mbuzi and Ente, and even at the college, Bible college, you can be at the library. And then you're looking out the window, here comes Ente. And you think, I like this. Then, of course, you need to be careful where you are stepping. But that is like Armidale, you see.
Yeah, that's
Armidale
where
is
we come
rural.
from.
So it reminds us a little of there. But here, everything is very fertile and
So
lush,
green. Oh
and
my goodness.
very beautiful.
Beautiful place. So we spoke about the climate, that's different. The colour of the people is different.
Yeah, the colour is very different.
I wonder why.
And when we talk to babies, they cry. We are the wrong
We
colour.
frighten them.
We frighten them. And the food is different, but we enjoy the food.
Yeah,
But we will talk about that in a minute.
yeah.
And you said the indigenous people run the country.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's a very big difference, is that we, in Australia, the indigenous people have many difficulties. And one of the reasons is that they were the original people there, but the country is not run by them. It is run by the people who came, who made a colony of Australia, and that's the English, the British. So, but by comparison here, you people run your country, and
We really
you have
like
since
that.
1962, even without the British. But in Australia, unfortunately, the indigenous people do not run the country.
They are part of
We're
the
sad
government.
about that.
They're part of the government, but
Yeah.
they're not the.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not like here.
There are indigenous leaders and such, but they are a minority in the population, and that's another very big difference, is the population. You know, here,
Oh yes.
you know, the population is, and even with Corona and social distancing, still it is much more than Australia, and all your villages are, but in Australia they're very far apart. You know, maybe 50 kilometers apart. The towns
Maybe the
and
distance
such.
of your whole diocese apart from town to town.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we love that. We love the villages.
Yeah. Well, I guess
Yeah.
one of the main challenges is that we are away from our family. That is one of the main challenges. We miss we have 3 grown sons. We miss them very much. We have a one daughter-in-law and we have a grandchild on the way. So that is a big challenge, is that. I think that would be maybe the main challenge.
Yeah.
And the culture, of course, is different.
Yeah.
The cultures are very different.
Yeah. And understanding people. In Australia, we can meet different people, and you sort of know what people are thinking. You know what their behaviour means. You can tell from body language if people are happy or sad or angry or something. But you come here and people's body language is different.
It's quite different.
Quite different.
Yeah.
And then of course, for when most of our speaking, even though we're trying to build the Runyonkori, most of our speaking is in English, and the English of people here, some of the meanings of words is different to our meanings of the words, and so one of the biggest challenges is coming from Australia, where we can communicate easily, to here we are concentrating very much.
Yeah.
So people, we will say, one time we were taking, there was a friend here, and and she was pregnant, and we were dropping her at her sister's place. We said to her, would you like us to wait for you and take you home? She says,
it is okay. It is okay.
So in Australia that means, no, I'm fine.
No, I'm fine. So we left her.
And this poor pregnant person walked up the long hill by herself.
Came out and she said,
because we were gone.
They have gone. But she said it is okay. It meant completely the opposite to what it means in Australia.
Yeah.
That's just one tiny example.
So that's some of the things. And I think for me one of the very difficult things is because you are learning a language, you become like a small child.
Yes.
So in a social group,
Yes.
you do not participate in the conversations in the same way. So sometimes you can feel like a small child, which is an uncomfortable feeling, and you can feel a little cut off from people, even though we want them speaking in Runyakori,
Yes.
so we can learn,
Yes.
but still you cannot share much in the language, only some basic things so far. So yeah, that's.
The food is easy to eat.
Yeah.
Especially when you have a pofia cooking. It's very nice food. But the food is not. It's lovely. Matoki is fine. Posho is fine. Beans are fine. Ebihimba is fine. You know. So we like the food. And your enanasi, beautiful. It is the best. I'm sure it is the best in the world.
Best in the world, we think.
Yeah. So very,
Australia
very
has
nice.
enanasi, but
Not like
so
here.
good.
Not like here. And your emanech, so good.
Yeah.
So there are as many good things. And what did you like?
Well, I like all those things. I like Ebihimba, but they do not like me so much.
It's true.
Yeah, but they're okay. But enanasi, emanece, oi, beautiful. Oh, obutunda.
Obutunda, the best.
Wonderful.
So good.
Also obshela
Obushera, he
for a
likes
drink,
obushera.
because I like the texture of it, and it just seems very healthy. We are very much enjoying getting to know people. We feel quite frustrated because of Corona that we have not been in the parishes much and visiting students and meeting other people and such. We like people. We've loved the neighbours, have been wonderful here. Our hearts are very sad for Bishop Benham and Mama and the family. So that has been a heaviness for us, and we are very full of energy for wanting to meet people and to grow together as disciples, because we've come here, we've not finished growing, it's part of our growing is being here, and we look forward to growing, because growing with Jesus is very exciting and very satisfying, very fulfilling, and for us and watching it for other people as well.